You are officially a grizzly bear. Or Ursus arctos horribilis in some places. Your scientific name even means horrible bear. Sounds impressive, right? The colossus of nature, the symbol of wild power, the king of the forest. Wow, what a majestic image. Too bad it's all marketing, a cruel fraud. Your life won't be an epic documentary about dominance. It will be a long, humiliating tragedy about hunger, paranoia, and a body that seems to have been designed by someone who hates you. Let's start with your birth. Forget any cute scenes. You aren't born in spring with birds singing. You're born in the middle of the harshest winter. Your maternity ward is a dark, cold, damp, claustrophobic den. And your mother is there, but technically she's in a coma. Yes, she's hibernating in a state of metabolic torpor. And that's when you arrive in the world. But you aren't born a robust cub. You're ridiculous. You're born blind, practically hairless, and weighing less than a bag of sugar. About 500 grams. Your mother weighs 200 kilograms. You don't start life as the heir to the forest. You start as a pink, trembling, pathetic sausage, desperate for the milk of a semi-conscious mother. Think about it. A moose calf is born, and within minutes is up and running. You spend your first months as an underdeveloped creature in the darkness. But the real terror begins when you leave the den in spring. Half of the cubs in your species die before growing up. And who is the main villain? Wolves? Cougars? No. The biggest killer of grizzly bear cubs is another grizzly bear, specifically adult males. That's right, your species practices infanticide. If an adult male finds you and realizes you're not his son, he kills you. Why? To force your mother to become available again and mate with him. It's the most toxic family dynamic on the planet. This forces your mother to take the most desperate and humiliating measure possible, using human shields. She learns that the big killer males are afraid of people, so she stays near roads and campgrounds. Your only chance of surviving your greatest natural enemy is to throw yourself into the arms of your greatest modern enemy. How wonderful. Okay, let's say you got lucky. Very lucky. You survived the first years. No psychopathic stepfather found you. Now your long, thankless education begins. You stick to your mother for 2 to 4 years. For years. That's an eternity. And why? Because being a grizzly bear is complicated. She has to teach you the most important thing. How to live in constant fear and avoid any other bear on the horizon. Then the big day comes. Graduation. No. Eviction. Your mother decides it's time to mate again. And for that, she needs to get rid of the biggest burden in her life, you. Don't expect a farewell hug. She simply, aggressively, and definitively kicks you out. Overnight, the only living being on the planet who tolerated you now wants you to disappear. Welcome to adulthood. You are now officially a juvenile delinquent. You're alone, confused, and on the lowest rung of the social ladder. At the top are the giant, scar-covered males. Just below them, the super protective and aggressive mothers. And down at the bottom, in the mud, is you. This means you're relegated to the worst places. The marginal habitats with little food and close to bigger bears who would love to beat you up. But now that you're alone, you must face your greatest design flaw. Look at yourself. You have powerful muscles, formidable canine teeth, and claws that look like knives. You're the image of a predator, right? Wrong. You are a spectacular failure as a hunter. You are essentially a giant cow with assassin's tools. Up to 90% of what you eat is plants, grass, roots, little berries. Your life isn't a saga of glorious hunts. It's a humiliating routine of gardening. And the worst part, your digestive system is short and terrible at processing plants. It's like trying to fuel a race car with wet grass. You have to eat massive amounts of this crap just to survive. What dignity? Okay, you're hungry, which is normal since your entire life revolves around your next meal. You close your eyes and imagine that classic documentary scene. You, majestic, on the bank of a crystal-clear Alaskan river, catching fat salmon that jump right into your mouth. What a great life, huh? Pure protein, delicious fat. Well, that image is nature's biggest false advertisement. For the vast majority of you grizzly bears in the world, that is pure fantasy. This sushi buffet only happens in a few places and lasts for a very short time. It's nature's VIP lounge. And guess what? You probably don't have a ticket. And even if you're lucky enough to live near one of those rivers, don't think it's easy. It's brutal competition. It's like the Black Friday of the animal kingdom. The giant males, the ones who would kill you if they could, monopolize the best spots, the prime salmon junctions. You, the young delinquent or the medium-sized bear, are left downstream, fighting with seagulls over the scraps, trying to catch the zombie fish that are already half dead. So, what is your reality? Berries. Tiny little fruits. You spend the entire summer and autumn obsessed with them. You need to consume tens of thousands of these little things per day. Tens of thousands. You use your surprisingly delicate lips, perhaps the only delicate thing about you, to pick these berries one by one. Hours and hours of meticulous, boring work. You aren't a skilled fisherman, you're an underpaid farm laborer. And when you finally get some real protein, do you take down a majestic moose? Of course not. You use those giant, powerful claws of yours to destroy rotten logs and flip over heavy rocks. All to lick up ants and eat fat beetle larvae. The king of the forest spends the day eating bugs. And of course, you are a dedicated scavenger. Basically a giant, furry vulture. You spend the day sniffing the air, hoping to find the carcass of some animal that died of disease or was killed by a competent predator, like a wolf. But the ultimate humiliation is modern. Our trash. Our greasy leftovers are irresistible. This transforms you from a symbol of nature into a giant rat, rummaging through trash cans in the dead of night. Well, summer is ending. You've spent months eating salad that your body barely digests, licking ants, and rifling through trash. The leaves are starting to change color. How beautiful, right? For you, this is the sign of the apocalypse. It's time to panic. Welcome to hyperphagia. This isn't just eating a lot. It's a mandatory seasonal eating disorder. Your body goes into total emergency mode, driven by hormones screaming a single order in your brain. Get fat or die. You become obsessed. Your only reason for existing 24 hours a day is to shove as many calories down your throat as possible. We're talking about 40 kilograms of food per day. 40 kilograms of wilted berries and dirty roots. Your sole objective is to get ridiculously fat as quickly as possible because winter is coming, and if you're a female, the pressure is even worse. You might have made it in the spring, but your body has a cruel safety mechanism called delayed implantation. Basically, your body pauses the pregnancy. The embryo sits there in standby mode. If you fail in your mission to get fat, your body looks at your fat reserves, gives a sarcastic chuckle, and hits the cancel button. It simply reabsorbs the baby. And all of this for what? For the grand winter solution, hibernation. Everyone thinks it's a nice, long snooze. Hibernation isn't sleep. It's a physiological horror movie. It's a violent, controlled coma. You dig a hole and bury yourself alive for up to 7 months. Your body shuts down. You don't eat, you don't drink. And most bizarrely, you don't pee or poop. Your metabolism plummets. But the scariest part is your heart. It drops to about 8 beats per minute, and it gets worse between breaths. You can go a full minute without breathing. Your heart simply stops for up to 20 seconds. Total silence. In any other animal, this would be immediate death. For you, it's just winter. You live for months on the brink of collapse. Okay, let's dive deeper into your beauty sleep. You're there, comatose in your dark hole, with your heart stopping every minute, but there's a much nastier biochemical problem happening inside you. 7 months without going to the bathroom. How do you not explode? Let's talk about urea, the main ingredient in pee. In any normal mammal, if you don't urinate, urea builds up in the blood. This is called uremia. It's a lovely condition that leads to kidney failure, self-intoxication, and a quick, painful death. But you lucky thing, developed a brilliant and fundamentally repugnant solution. You recycle your own pee internally. Yes, that's right. Instead of excreting the poison, your body breaks it down and uses the nitrogen to build new protein. It's like a bizarre biochemical magic trick that miraculously helps keep your muscles and organs functioning while you're basically dead. Your body turns into a private sewage treatment plant. Your survival depends on your ability to reprocess your own poison. How beautiful. And then there's the problem of immobility. You lie completely still for months on end. If a human stayed in bed that long, their bones would literally turn to dust. Severe osteoporosis. Your skeleton would disintegrate from lack of use. But your body, always ready with a workaround, goes into crisis mode and messes with your hormones in a complex way, just to stop that from happening. This isn't a sign of superior bones. It's a desperate emergency system to keep you from crumbling into a big puddle of bear jelly. Hibernation isn't rest. It's a physiological house of cards, always on the verge of collapse. Finally, spring arrives. The snow melts. It's time to leave the den. You wake up refreshed and ready for action after that long rest. Of course not. You don't wake up, you resurrect. You look like a smelly, hairy zombie. You've lost up to a third of your body weight. You're stiff, weak, dizzy, and desperately hungry. And the final joke, you wake up right in the leanest time of the year. There are no fruits yet, the salmon haven't arrived. Okay, so now you're finally out of the den. A hungry, weakened zombie. The spring sun blinds you, the fresh air fills your lungs. What to do now? Call your friends? Plan a reunion with the gang? No. In your dictionary, the word friend doesn't exist. What exists is threat, rival, and potential food thief. Your life is an exercise in extreme isolation. But don't think it's a noble, poetic solitude like a philosopher on a mountain. It's the solitude of a paranoid hermit who thinks everyone wants to steal his wallet. And in your case, they really do. Your society is built on one golden rule: avoid other bears at all costs. Every encounter is a risk. A bigger male will beat you up and steal your food. A female with cubs will try to tear your face off. A bear your own size is direct competition for that measly root it took you half an hour to dig up. So, how do you communicate? Well, your social network is basically a series of passive-aggressive messages. You rub against trees and leave your scent to send a very clear message. I, the grumpy bear, was here. The area already stinks enough. Get lost. It's the animal equivalent of graffitiing "piss OFF" on your neighbor's wall. And when avoidance fails, when you're forced to meet, like near a carcass or at one of those overcrowded salmon rivers, it's not a party. It's the most tense, uncomfortable gathering on the planet. It's like being stuck in an elevator with your boss, your ex, and a debt collector. Nobody says anything, nobody makes eye contact, everyone is rigid, growling softly and thinking, I hope this ends soon. And in this brutal hierarchy, you, the young adult, are always at the bottom. You linger on the periphery, trying to get the scraps, always looking over your shoulder, waiting for the moment one of the brutes gives you a dirty look and sends you packing with a swat. Your social life is a void. A great, paranoid nothingness, punctuated by moments of terror and humiliation. It's the isolation of a prisoner who is afraid of all the other prisoners. As if your life wasn't already a pit of misery, the universe decided to add one final boss, the human being. You survived stepfathers, cannibals, a diet of biological garbage, and a 7-month coma. But nothing prepared you for the two-legged plague that films everything with cell phones. Our mere presence is a form of physiological torture for you. Think about your fight-or-flight system. It was designed to go off for a few minutes when another bear appears, and then shut down. With humans, the alarm never turns off. The constant sound of cars, the smell of our towns, the sight of a hiker in colorful clothes. All of this keeps your body flooded with panic hormones 24 hours a day. It's like living with a fire alarm blaring nonstop in your head. It's not an immediate danger, but it will slowly drive you crazy and make you sick. And we're not just noisy, we're destructive. Your home, which was once a vast, open continent, is now Swiss cheese, full of holes and deadly barriers called highways and cities. That incredible berry field your great-great-grandmother used is now a luxury condo. That corridor you used to find a mate was cut off by a freeway. You're trapped in small islands of forest, increasingly isolated. But the cruelest joke is the problem bear cycle. It's a perfect trap. Step 1. We destroy your natural food sources. Step 2. We open an irresistible fast food restaurant right on your doorstep. Our trash is the most calorie-dense, fatty, and easy food you've ever seen in your life. Step 3. You, being an opportunistic animal programmed to get fat, do the logical thing and eat the trash. Step 4. We are shocked. My God, a bear is near my house. And then you get a new nickname, Problem Bear. Your reward for being intelligent and adapting to the world we created. You get a tranquilizer dart in your rear end, are thrown in a cage, and dumped hundreds of kilometers away in a place you don't know, where you'll probably die. Or if you're really unlucky, they simply skip the travel part. What a wonderful partnership. So, we've reached the end of this depressing journey. Let's be direct and answer the question that matters. After all, why is it horrible to be born a grizzly bear? It's horrible because your entire life is a painful contradiction. You are born with the appearance of a king, but you live like a trash picker. You have the tools of an elite assassin, but you spend your days digging up roots and eating ants, because deep down, you're terrible at your main job. Your majesty is a farce, a shell hiding an existence of pure hardship. It's horrible because your biology is a collection of extreme workarounds. Your survival depends on a self-induced coma that stops your heart and forces you to recycle your own poison to avoid dying from intoxication. You wake from this nightmare not refreshed, but as a stiff, weakened zombie, straight into the worst time of the year. It's horrible because your social life is a desert. You are condemned to solitude, not by choice, but by fear. Every member of your own species is a rival or a mortal threat, starting with the males who would have killed you in your cradle if they'd had the chance. There is no comfort, no alliance, only constant paranoia. And finally, it's horrible because the modern world has cornered you in a trap with no escape. We admire your image, but we despise your presence. We steal your home, poison your body with chronic stress, and then punish you for trying to survive on the crumbs we left behind. Your intelligence and adaptability have become crimes punishable by deportation or death. Your life is not a saga of power. It is a testament to stubbornness. The stubbornness to keep existing, despite a flawed body, a humiliating diet, a non-existent society, and an infernal neighbor who has turned you into a criminal in your own land.